Welcome, family, and press your way right on into Scriptoria Inspirations. As this Sunday evening slash night begins, and I've completed the Sunday dinner for my mom, and I fed her and got her meds. So I got a few minutes. I wanted to come on, and if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I routinely go live when I prepare meals either at my home for my mom or at her home. But I primarily prepare meals for my mom. And I don't use salt. I use mainly vegetables such as bell peppers, onions, and other off seasonings, Mrs. Dash, things of that nature. And generally, when I do the cooking, I don't per se talk to the camera. I more show what I'm doing. And today, however, I do look at the comments. Now, today, what struck me was I looked at a comment and it said in the section of my comments, it said, to this evening, I prepared lima beans, a meatloaf, cornbread, rice, and yams for my mom for her Sunday dinner, which is enough to carry her over for Monday as I travel with my daughter. And one of the comments that was said in the comment section was EBT cooking. And I didn't feed into it when I seen the comment, but I ponder on it as I watched the car and I said, generally, Scriptoria, you don't go back and feed onto comments as such because the enemy comes in all forms and he come to distract you, make you feel less than, take you off course. But that particular comment stuck out to me, which either one let me knew you had to be new to the channel, because if you had been following me for a while or watching in my posts, you would have seen that I routinely do cook. Secondly, for you to mention on EBT, this month with the government shutdown, it did not matter if you was black, white, Caucasian, Mexican, Latino. It didn't matter what part of the world, what part of your ethnicity you was. If you was a United States citizen, when the government got shut down, it affected you in some form. Secondly, when you say EBT SNAP, it's like you're saying it directly as African Americans are the only one receiving SNAP benefits, when let's just be honest, baby. More than African Americans receive EBT. Welcome and thank you for joining. It's just a piggyback on a comment that was made earlier in the live when I was cooking about me fixing meal for my mom. But back to what I was saying. You're thinking in snaps of reason that individuals need EBT to eat. That's not true, sir or ma'am. Because let's just be honest about it. Have you thought about the number of children that goes to school in America and they only leave their house, black or white, and the only meal they get is from that school? Did you think about that? Secondly, when the SNAP was cut off, did you think about the elderly? It's more than just elderly African Americans out here that rely on SNAP. Two, thirdly, did you think about the food banks that had to come in between and fill in these blanks for these individuals that didn't have food? And that was, when you look at some of the food banks all over the news and all over the media, it was more than African Americans that was in there. My point to saying to you is, it doesn't take SNAP for me to feed my mom. It doesn't take SNAP for us to eat. When the government was shut down, I already trained my mind, because God has already promised me he's going to supply the land. He's going to fulfill all my needs according to riches. If we would have got low on food, I got more than enough items in my home that I can go pawn to get money to buy food. I got more than enough items in my home that I can go sell if times was that hard for me, that I would still be able to eat and not have to go out and rob. Thirdly, if you know, like you know, you always got something, you always keep something in your cupboard, your pantry, your freezer. It may not be what you want to eat, but you always got something in your pantry or your cupboard that you can draw back on to eat. So when you come into individuals, and it's not saying the ones that are here watching or whoever may come back and watch, but when you make comments about such as EBT eating, not everybody have to rely off EBT to eat. If you got a mind that you keep in Christ, Christ will fulfill you with things of such to survive. You will not have to rely on it. One thing about me, and one thing is I take care of my mom and my daughter and my family. We gonna eat. We gonna eat, and guess what? I ain't gonna have to go out and steal for it. Because you're not so much relying on the government system, but the government is what funds the world. It wasn't so much EBT. You had federal workers. I know of some in my family that work in the federal government that were not getting paid. Mortgages were still due. Grocery was still needed in the house for the children. They still needed gas in their cars. Utilities were still needed. But also, did you also think to give God the glory to say, guess what? Throughout that shutdown, did you see any time on the news that one single person died of starvation? God is a good God. Did you see any time anywhere on the news that it said one person died of starvation? So guess what? God was still faithful in supplying each and every last person needs according to his riches and glory. So when you drop into the comments and you say EBT not only applies to whomever, I don't get them. And I ain't ashamed to say if somebody walk up and sell them, yes, indeed, I will buy them. Yes, indeed, I give them the money because they got a need. It's what they call it. I forgot how they say it, but they got a need and I got a need. Guess what? I want the food and the benefit they got, and they need the cash. So guess what? It's a win-win in all. From Scriptorial Inspirations, it was just a comment that was made earlier, and as I pondered on it, I thought about it. I said, this person just apparently don't watch this channel or not familiar with this channel. And if you know, I've been cooking for my mom. And just know that EBT don't just apply to African Americans, baby. You got elderly white people that survive off of EBT. You got children that survive off EBT. And you got other individuals in the world that survives off EBT. Everybody that took and voted for that individual, you seen them on the news and social media is crying. Why were they crying? Because they didn't expect the turn that they got turned on them from the person that they voted in office. And those that didn't vote felt the crunch. Pay attention to the recent polls. How many of those states turned from red to blue? How many of them? Just think. So when you do one to try to hurt, when you do something to hurt one, just as many of the Hispanics that was getting, and Caucasian and Mexicans that was getting gathered up and shipped back, guess who went to hurting the crops? So every person in this world has a very unique need that supplies that keep all of us going. Most of those are builders and contractors that can build houses and build these universities and build these buildings. So you got to be mindful of the words that come from your mouth. And it's not nothing to get upset about. It's just something that requires clarity. Clifford Campbell says, okay, God lives. However you want to call him, my Father lives. Whatever you call him in your world, hey, he lives. To God, to it all, to God we give the glory. So with that being said, thank you all for joining. It was just a recap of a comment. You all remember to press your way on this Sunday evening. I am quite tired. And we're going to get ready to jump off of here. But I just wanted the individuals to know that made that comment about EBT eating, baby, we're going to eat regardless. We're going to eat regardless. God promised me he's going to supply. And if push come to shove, I ain't got to go steal. I got more than enough stuff in my home that I can go sell. I can go pawn. I can put on Facebook Marketplace or, the other little apps and get rid of it. If it's not serving me the need at the present moment and it can benefit for somebody else and I can get the cash to go buy food versus you assume somebody go steal and you got the replications of court costs, bombing, all this other stuff. Wouldn't it be cheaper? See, a lot of people didn't think about that when that went down. It's like, oh, I gotta eat. No, you got stuff within your home. Use what you already got. You always keep a bag of flour in your cupboard. You always keep a pack of meat in your home. You always keep sugar in your home. You always keep salt and pepper for your seasoning. And if you ain't got oil, many of us got air fryers. So therefore, that being said, you got something in your home right then and there that can carry you through. It may not be what you want, but it's something to sustain you. And nobody died of hunger. from Scriptorial Inspirations. Press your way, press your way. Thank you all for joining on this Sunday evening. Enjoy your evening, get you some relaxation. And I pray your blessings ahead of this week coming, that it be peaceful, that God's presence be seen and observed in all that you do. And what the world is this? But no, I'm not gonna put that up. But I'm not sure what that is. That just popped up. But I pray that God blessings be all upon you all, and that you all get to experience his peace, and that you all will stick around for the next video or the next live, and you all get you some rest. Press your way, press your way. How are you going to press through? And with the knowledge of the Holy Bible, God's written promises that applies to me and you both daily. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video.